It was a quiet afternoon in my suburban neighborhood, the sun casting warm golden rays over the neatly trimmed lawns and white picket fences. I had just finished my usual cup of chamomile tea, savoring the tranquility of the day. Life had settled into a predictable rhythm since my husband passed away 5 years ago. While I treasured the peace, there were days when the silence felt heavy. The sudden knock on my door startled me. I wasn't expecting anyone. When I opened it, Daniel, my next-door neighbor, stood there looking more anxious than usual. He was a charming man in his early 40s with kind eyes and a confident demeanor. We had exchanged pleasantries before, talking about the weather or our shared love of gardening, but this was the first time he had come to my house unannounced. His voice was soft but firm. "Hi, Claire. I hope I'm not bothering you." "Not at all," I replied, stepping aside to let him in. "What brings you here?" He hesitated, glancing over his shoulder as if making sure no one else was watching. When he finally stepped inside, his expression changed. No longer casual, but something deeper, something urgent. "I need your help," he said, running a hand through his neatly trimmed hair. "It's something personal." I led him to the couch, curiosity stirring inside me. "Of course, Daniel. What's on your mind?" He sat, hands clasped together, taking a deep breath. "I know we don't know each other very well, but I've always admired your strength. You've built such a beautiful life, even after everything you've been through, and I could really use someone like you in my corner." His words caught me off guard. What kind of favor could he possibly need from me? With a mix of apprehension and hope, Daniel explained his predicament. His younger sister, Emily, was going through a painful divorce. She had always relied on him for support, but this time he felt she needed something more, a nurturing presence. He believed my life experience and wisdom could provide her with the guidance she needed. "She's fragile right now," Daniel admitted, his voice laced with concern. "And I think hearing from someone who's been through hardship and come out stronger could really help her." It was an unusual request, but as he spoke, I could sense how deeply he cared for his sister. There was something endearing about his vulnerability, the way he wasn't afraid to ask for help. "I'd be honored to meet her," I said, placing a reassuring hand on his. "If you think I can make a difference, I'll do what I can." The gratitude that lit up his face was enough to convince me I'd made the right decision. Over the next few days, we arranged for Emily to visit. In the meantime, Daniel and I grew closer. He stopped by more often, sharing stories about his family, his work, his dreams. I found myself looking forward to his visits in a way I hadn't felt in years. One evening, as we sat on my porch sipping lemonade and watching the sunset, he turned to me with an intensity that made my heart skip a beat. "Claire," he said softly, "I never expected this favor to bring us closer, but it's been nice, hasn't it?" I nodded, unsure of what to say. There was a warmth between us, something unspoken but undeniably present. Emily's visit turned out to be a turning point, not just for her, but for me as well. She arrived hesitant and unsure, but as we talked, I saw her confidence begin to bloom. We shared stories of resilience and hope, and by the time she left, I felt as though I had gained a friend. But it was Daniel's reaction that stayed with me. When he came by to check on Emily, his gratitude was evident. He hugged me tightly, lingering just a moment longer than necessary. "Thank you, Claire," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "You've done more for Emily than I ever could have imagined, and you've done something for me, too." That evening, as we shared a quiet dinner in my dining room, Daniel opened up in a way he hadn't before. He confessed that his visits hadn't just been about Emily, they had been about the connection he felt with me. "I never thought I'd feel this way again," he admitted, his eyes searching mine. "But you've reminded me that it's never too late to find happiness. I was stunned, but as I looked into his eyes, I realized I felt the same. The moments we had shared, the laughter, the quiet conversations, they had awakened something in me I thought was long gone. That night, under the soft glow of my dining room chandelier, we shared our first kiss. It was tender, hesitant, but it carried the promise of something beautiful. In the weeks that followed, Daniel and I began exploring this new chapter of our lives. It wasn't always easy, blending our histories and expectations, but it was worth every moment. Emily continued to thrive, and so did we. Looking back, I realized the favor Daniel asked of me wasn't just about helping his sister. It was about helping both of us find the courage to embrace love again. And in doing so, we discovered that sometimes the most unexpected requests lead to the most extraordinary journeys.